This week I hit a big snatch and a big front squat. I'm going to show off some Lynx Athlete PRs, some nutrition stuff, and talk about building on a good week. Because last week was pretty darn good on all fronts. So I was wondering, how am I going to follow that up? And that's an interesting question. How do you follow a good week up? Do you just do better on all fronts? I don't know if that's really realistic. That was my first 360 scoop off one there. Anyways, about this pressure to follow up a previous performance, I think it's stemming from the anticipation of doing worse than last time, that what if I do worse idea. So I was trying to avoid that narrative this week in training and focus on applying the stimulus. And if I'm bringing focus and intent to the activity, it's not the end of the world if the outputs fluctuate a little bit. I think sometimes people do get applying the stimulus mixed up with going through the motions. And the idea of applying the stimulus is that you're building excitement to take ground. I'm going to show an example of taking ground later in the video, but those are two very different things. I was rushing through this workout to get to track practice, and I forgot to film dips. It turns out the practice wasn't actually happening because it was a holiday, and I just had a lack of focus there. I knew it wasn't happening, actually. I was not that focused early in the week. This is a PR on barbell suitcase pickup, and on Wednesday, I ran back the same jump session I did with a buddy last week. Did not get 9.8 this week on my standing left, but I am at 209 now, and I think the body weight is directly correlated to these standing jumps. I'm doing my behind the back self-bounce warm-up. Nick hit a 8.9 or 9 feet reverse 360 mil. He was making a lot of progress on that technically. My under both was pretty bad. Focus was not there. And that's why I love dunking for consistency, because I can tell when the focus and intent is there or not, because this is within my wheelhouse. I can definitely do it. It's just a matter of whether I'm trying to push the ball through my legs hard enough and jump hard enough on all of these reps. 360 East Bay, I got off to a good start. Those two makes run 8.7, so I went up to 8.8, and I started selling. These are all very close. Come on, buddy. Come on. These things really do come in waves, because now that I've had a worse performance, I know that I can do better next week. So that is how things fluctuate, right? I'm going to show some sled accelerations here, about 8 by 20 meters. Yeah, pretty good first step. I'm attacking back. You see attack back stiff ankle. Cycling the third step a little bit. It looks okay on the sled, but when I go to do the non-sled later, it's not as good. So you'll see here, my third step comes super high and it attacks back, but I think it spent just a little bit too much time in the air. I didn't have the sweep down there. So let's see the Excel without the sled. I think I'm going to do more of these on this day, just use the sled as a tool to get started. So I just stabbed the ground there rather than attacking back, and I was trying to support myself. You would see in that rep without the sled. This is 200 pounds for a 3x5 in flats for the overhead squat. And I did some quote-unquote no-foot snatches. I feel like my feet still move when I do no-foot snatches, but I'm thinking about doing it no-foot. There's a very slight foot movement. 225, and then I did 240 for a double, moving the feet, and I hit the second rep, feeling pretty good. I went for a third rep, and I missed it. But after that, I was like, I almost tripled 240. If I just take a jump to 255, I'm going to hit that. And I was talking that. And then I jumped to 270, and that's a PR. Look at that. So random. And I'd also been training for 4 hours prior to this. I think what happened is that my blood sugar crashed, which put me in a fight or flight state. I had a couple of carbs to get it back up. And then I was just super antsy for those snatches. Here's some stuff from Lynx. Austin doubled 225 in the clean. I think he has a lot of room in this clean as well, a lot of potential, and the technique is getting there. We have Jason, 15-pound PR front squat. He has a lot of room there. Tony, 315 by 5. His 1RM is 335 the last time we tested. So I think there's a lot more there. Thursday, what do we have going on? I added an ISO to these hack squat calf raises. Nice way to superset them. And I had more snatching to do. What do we have here? This is a 231, quote unquote, no foot snatch. Then I hit 242 and 253 or 115. I missed, but I missed behind, which is great. That's a good miss for me. And then 253. These snatch pulls, so the one you just saw there was super duper high to my sternum. 1 rep at 380. This was supposed to be a triple, but I panicked with 380. Not that the rep moved that terribly. I just don't think my CNS was ready, or I just wasn't mentally ready. Next week, I will give that another shot, probably on caffeine, and I'm gonna knock that out. And like, look at how 352 moves. Like this, it's run-of-the-mill set. I should be able to go up to 380, trying my absolute best, and hit 3. No. Anyways, 297, 2x11. This is a PR on the close stance, heel elevated, constant tension squat. And moving on, 259, close grip Larson. Kind of a PR. This was supposed to be an 8. Did not go for the 8th rep. But feeling stronger on this. I really want to do 2 reds on this variation. I'm looking forward to that. Just 1.5 or 2.5 keys off of doing that. What do we have here? A 2x8 with the 105s. I'm trying to hold on to my strength with these during the cut. I feel like it's a great test of raw strength. And afterwards, a little bit of lat pull down, a little bit of cable fly for the rear delt, cable fly for the lateral delt. Coming up in a sec here, I'm going to show a new dunk I was playing around with. For about 20 minutes every day, I go and do creative dunks or practice lobs on a low rim, trying to get my hands elite. So that's kind of like a behind the back toss spin to windmill. And this is me throwing lobs over and over and over again, trying to get my lob back to where it was, because my lob used to be really, really good. And I'll show some nutrition stuff. I'm going to start with snacks that I like to have on top of my base diet. So dried mangoes, Elite, about 130 calories for 3 pieces, I think it says there. The other brand is 4 pieces. Anyways, Larabar, really clean ingredients. You can see, right in there. Yeah, there's nothing crazy added to those. 200 calories. I like adding avocados in place of butter on my rice. Greek yogurt and honey is another staple for me. And on this night, I was cooking up yam with some strip beef and peas, broccoli, and peppers. 315 by 3. I did a set at 310 before this. Didn't move great. I was hoping I might be able to do 325 for triple, but based on how that last rep moved, definitely a good call. This foam roller bench I'm building up, I added a towel underneath to get that arch popping a little bit more. I think I can get to 270, 280 on these. They feel weird. All the reps feel hard, but I just never feel like I'm going to miss on this variation for some reason. 215, I'm getting my push press going. Please, hopefully my push press will be higher than my overhead press. You'd hope. I'm learning the technique. I actually messed up my collarbone landing the bar on it. I got work to do on the push press. Okay, overhead press, back down, hypertrophy, burnout type thing going on there. And then off to the track. Yeah, the focus was not that good on the track. I think I could have done a lot better. Let's see here. First step is always fine for me. Pushing off. Second step there, I'm attacking back. Cycling that leg, that's a mid-third step. I was bending my arms for some reason in the start, which I don't usually do. I don't know what was up with that. Do I do it on this rep? Yeah, I'm not even getting it far enough back on that rep. Yeah, just like super underneath or super in front of me on that contact there. 9.6, wasn't able to make it happen. I want to make some progress on these standing jumps. I know now today I measure my weight at 209. I know I already feel like I can do better in the standing jumps. I can do way better. I got to get turned up for these standing jumps, man. I got to make some progress. Oh, I figured out the secret here. So you can see, I believe in this one, I'm just holding my right arm in front longer so I can get a more coordinated arm swing, and I'm so turned up about it. I think I was not using my off arm properly in this self-balance 3-step thing. So to figure that out is amazing because I do this before every dunk session. And that's a left foot reverse East Bay? Or wait, left foot, or no, left, under left leg reverse East Bay. I was doing some pump reverse. I forgot to bring my legs up on this though. I got up to 9.3, which is great. That's a big PR. And Sunday, what do we have going on here? The hack squat calf raises. I forgot to include the rotator cuff stuff that I do, but I always do that with the hack squat calf raises and the GHD sit-up when I get to the gym, warming up. And I'm so committed to progressive overload that I strung this chain around these GHD sit-ups for 28 pounds just because I couldn't find a 30-pound plate. Anyways, I was exhausted at this point because on Saturday after that session, I coached basketball for 7 hours, and I could tell on the drive to the gym on this day, I was feeling very lackadaisical. So I did my first set of speed deads, it was 0.63, second set was 0.70, 0.72, which is a PR match, and it just didn't sit right with me. I just hated how I was driving to the gym. I just was not turned up like I usually am. And I did a 4-set, which I probably should not have done, but this is an example of taking ground. 0.73, I got the PR, brought intensity to that. And yeah, like that going through the motions thing just terrifies me, dude. Like it disgusts me. Like I just could never. I just, no. And that mentality of just rolling to the gym, going through the warm-up, oh, I did okay today. That cannot happen for me with the magnitude of goals that I have. Like, I'm going to fail. I'm going to fall short if I spend one day in that mentality. I can't afford to do that. And anyways, what do we have here? This is a double. I was missing the double, and I made a rep there on the high hang snatch with 182 or 83 keys. Just a 1K GPR on that. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. Last word, motions.